the biggest moments, hottest takes, and the wildest stories from the world of pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or just stepping into the squared circle, we're here to give you the real scoop on everything happening in the ring.
I'm your host, RJD, and we're about to take a ride through the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. Get ready for all our hot takes, deep dives, and all the wrestling you never knew you needed.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join What the Wrestling family so you never miss an episode. Now let's step into the ring.
You're listening to the What the Wrestling podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. WrestleMania Night 2 is in the books, y'all. It's in the books. And doesn't really taste, little bit of taste at the end of that pie. But all in all, we are going to talk about Night 2, and we are going to talk about how they managed to F up one of the best things in wrestling in the last 10 years. But let us not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Let's not go. Let's go. Yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What's the Wrestling. Once again, I am your host, RJD. Listen, y'all, hit the like button, okay? Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. What's the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Oh, my goodness. Night 2 is in the books, y'all. Night 2 is in the books, and overall, monster show up until the last couple of matches, and then it didn't fall off a cliff, but it kind of jumped off the diving board, if that makes sense. Better than Night 1. I had high hopes because I figured we'd get some surprises yesterday, and I was right. No predictions from my wife today, so maybe the next video I do, I'll get her thoughts on the show. I know some people are like, "Yo, let me find out your wife is better than you at predictions."
Nope.
I did get a lot wrong yesterday, but at the end of the day, I don't understand what happened at the end of this show. I guess I could talk about this briefly before we get into it. So, first things first, I am going to work on some t-shirts. What the Wrestling? I'm going to work on some hats and hoodies. 'Tis the season. It's hoodie season, but it is not going to be hoodie season for long. It was 80-something degrees on Saturday. 80-something degrees on Saturday. So let's Don DeMarco for that. I said, let's Don DeMarco for that. But updates to the channel, that is happening. I am going to make some stuff, and it will be out there for your enjoyment. And there will be links in the description. There will be QR codes. There will be all of that. And we're going to get this knocked off. So I don't know why my green screen is acting crazy, but we're not going to falter. We're going to keep it pushing. So, all right. So I don't understand. A lot of people are like, "Oh, The Rock, where's The Rock? I want The Rock. The Rock's coming." I thought The Rock was going to come out. You know, when you're at The Rock's level, there's private planes, there's chartered flights. You don't roll with the help. So you could get to Hawaii from Vegas. You could get to Vegas from Hawaii, and you could film a movie, show up literally in Versace, do your 1 or 2 spots, hit a rock bottom or 2, and then walk out, go right to the plane, and be back on set in 5-6 hours. No problem. I'm positive he could have done it. But as Triple H said on Andrew Schultz Flagrant, he was like, listen, his movie schedule does not permit him to come. So if this is the case and the movie schedule didn't permit him to come, and he knew that, because if you think that brother doesn't run off a schedule, then you're stupid.
You stupid.
Then why the hell did he show up in the first place? Why do they? I mean, they didn't advertise him, so we can't get mad because they didn't advertise him.
You stupid.
But you have conditioned us. You have conditioned us, the fellow wrestling viewer, that we're gonna get something. We're gonna get a surprise. We're gonna get a walk-in. We're gonna get The Rock, but we didn't get The Rock. We got Travis Scott. What?
Nope. You stupid.
That's an L. Who asked for Travis Scott? Did we ask for him? We didn't ask for Travis Scott. Now listen. Okay, I listen to some of his music, but we're not talking about his music right now. We're talking about what he has to do with this. Now, did I expect him to get a receipt for knocking Cody upside his head and busting his eardrum, allegedly? Yeah, okay. Maybe you step him a little bit, give him a hard clothesline, crossroads, get him out of here. But we could have did that. I mean, if you weren't gonna have The Rock, then you shouldn't have had Travis Scott. This match would have been A-okay with the ref bump and no interference, no nothing. And then Cody, they're fighting for the belt at the end, and then Cody gets the belt, doesn't want to do it, gets kicked in the nuts, and then loses. If there's no Travis Scott, I could live with that. I would have been like, damn, thought we were getting The Rock, but we didn't get The Rock. Cena still wins. Cool. But you brought out Travis Scott, which made me think, oh, the final boss is coming. And no, the final boss is not coming. He's sipping those rock drinks in Maui right now. So shout out to him. Listen, I'm not mad at the fact he didn't come. I'm just like, don't prep us for that. Now, he wasn't advertised, so that's stupid on my part.
You stupid.
But you conditioned us to be this way. Like, if he was going to stick his nose, he had the 1, the 2, the 3, the throat split. I mean, you know how dope that would have been? I was like, we could get Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, The Rock, and Cena at the end of the show. Imagine if he wins, and then we have the final boss. And then, no, we have Seth Rollins' music hit. He comes down with the title with Paul Heyman. Comes down. And then we have him and Cena in the ring. They stare at each other. One looks at, they look at each other. And then they look at Heyman. And then they look to the ramp. And then you have the final boss music hit. That crowd would have went apeshit. And then it goes off the air with The Rock doing the 1, 2, 3 throat slit. Now, one would say that overshadows Cena winning 17. I get that, and you're probably right. but man, I was just expecting more. That finish was flatter than the pancake. All right, so let's start it off. WrestleMania Night 2 started off with Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. All of these ladies came out. Spectacular gear by everyone. Dope, I think, Batman reference by Rhea Ripley. That was awesome. I was like, damn, Rhea Ripley, cool as hell. Cool, all ladies, cool. Io Sky is amazing. I think these ladies, here's what I think happened. I think these ladies, they were putting the match together maybe night 1. They knew they were getting night 1, right? So they looked at each other and they said, ladies, we are going to shut it the F down. And there's not a damn thing anyone on planet Earth can do about it. Are you with me? Are you with me? And they went out there and collectively said, we are going to shut it down, and they are going to remember us because we are all three bad bitches. And I mean that respectfully, obviously. Don't get sensitive in my comments. But they went out there and said, we're going to shut this shit down, man. And they did. I don't have enough. That could have main evented any show. That match could have main evented any show. I don't have enough buttons to press. Give me a hell yeah. I don't have enough buttons to press. This was amazing. Great. You hear me? great start to WrestleMania Night 2. These ladies shut it down. Awesome sequence where EO tried to do the moonsault, ran into this girl's feet, hit right into the KOD. Rhea Ripley broke it up. EO Sky ends up winning by hitting the moonsault. Who'd she pin? I forgot who she pinned. I think she pinned Bianca. Bianca hit the KOD, and then EO hit the moonsault on Bianca and then just kind of rolled her up. This was awesome. This was awesome. And let's not take away the boos that Bianca Belair got. Very noticeable. Very, very noticeable boos. And turn the damn girl heel. I was watching NXT. She's gonna be a great heel. Just turn her heel. Let her go. Let her go. So that's what I hope they do. Hope they turn her heel, just because I know it's gonna be absolutely fantastic. This match was freaking phenomenal. Part 2, Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Oh, and by the way, my wife got this one right too. I want to show my wife some love. And Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. She got this one right too. I'm not gonna lie. One of the things I remember about this match is the end, where the Razor's Edge onto the table was dope by Damian Priest. That was his favorite wrestler. Rest in peace to Scott Hall. And when he was doing the Undertaker walk the ropes, and he got pushed onto 2 tables. He just got shoved. It was like it came enough time in the match had went by that I forgot those tables were even out there. I literally forgot. I was like, oh shit, he pushed them. But I forgot the tables were out there. So that was kind of cool. And then he hit him with the Claymore into the table, into the chair that was propped up in the corner. And that was all she wrote for Damian Priest. Shout out to Priest. Shout out to these 2 brothers, man. They went out there, they worked hard. Damian, he didn't, they both needed to win, but Drew McIntyre needed to win, man. He needed to win. Damian Priest was hot. He's kind of cooled off a little bit. I hope he gets that. I hope the crowd gets back behind him, man. Shout out to El Bronx, man. From the Bronx too, brother. So shout out to Damian Priest, man. I hope he gets back up there. This was an awesome street fight. It was like a street fight, but it was safe. Just 2 big dudes beating the hell out of each other. Nothing wrong with that. Great stuff. Great stuff. And as always, last year, Drew McIntyre takes a picture, bored at work. This year, I think his brother gave him the camera and he said, still bored at work. Shout out to Drew, man. And then came my favorite moment of the night, the Fatal 4-Way. Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, Penta, El Cero Miedo, and Braun Breaker, Mr. Bark Dog himself. This match was fantastic, and I picked Dom, and my wife picked Finn Balor. Now, my wife doesn't watch wrestling as much as I do, and I told her, I said, you sure? She's like, no, I think Finn Balor will take it. I think Dom will get it, and Finn Balor will take it at the end. She was half right. It worked the other way. So this match, absolutely fire. It's just so crazy. Dirty Dominic Mysterio was the #1 hated man in wrestling with the most heat after he had that feud with his daddy, Rey Mysterio. What was that? 2-3 years ago? I forget. It was a couple years ago when he got whipped at WrestleMania. His dad was whipping him. well, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. And since then, he's been talking crap. My deadbeat dad this, my deadbeat dad that. And even at his own wedding, they're booing him. I'm looking on Twitter, they're booing him for no reason. I mean, it just became fun to do, just to boo him for no reason. And pro wrestling is so amazing. It makes no sense. But pro wrestling is so great, so amazing, that this man who has been booed for the last 2-3 years goes to Vegas and WrestleMania and everybody wants him to win. You can't make this shit up. I love pro wrestling, dude. I love it. This makes no sense. Like, people who don't know wrestling are like, why? They were booing him like a week ago. Why? This is amazing. To see this come full circle and to see him get this title, this was amazing. I thought this was great. Finn Balor is, they were going back and forth all night. One of the hot spots in this match was Breaker or Carlito saving the match twice for the Judgment Day. So shout out to Carlito because he's cool. And before that, after that, he pulled the referee out and Braun Breaker was on one announce table. He was on the other announce table and he kind of did and Braun Breaker just ran and speared the holy shit out of him. And Braun Breaker had another one too where he just jumped off the steps and I think he ran into Finn Balor and he just pounced him like 20 feet. I'm like, Braun Breaker is a goddamn freak of nature, man. Jesus freaking Christ, that guy. But that was awesome. And towards the end of the match, Finn Balor comes out. He's got the upper hand and he is standing there. Dirty Dom says, you know what? F it. Goes for the 619. Finn Balor catches him, drops him. The crowd goes crazy. Then he starts stomping a mud hole in him. Braun Breaker comes. Braun Breaker ends up getting caught. He's in the drop. He catches the sling blade drop kick. He's in the drop zone. Finn Balor goes up, hits the coup de grace. A 1, a 2. He's going to win the match. But Dirty Dom with the frog splash out of nowhere rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. And he is your new Intercontinental Champion. This was amazing. He probably got one of the biggest pops in the whole weekend. One of the biggest pop. These people wanted them some Dirty Dom to win. Oh my God, this was great. This was great. Oh man, this was awesome. Nothing else to say about this match. Absolutely. One of my favorite moments of the night. It was great. Then we get Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes out. Next match, Randy Orton comes out. Obviously, KO needs to have surgery. Respect to KO. Speedy recovery. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully everything ends up well and we see him in 9 months, a year. However, take your time, come back. We wish KO nothing but the best. But Randy Orton needs an opponent. So who answers the call? Is it Rusev? Is it Aleister Black? Is it somebody else? No. Who is it? It's Joe Henry. We like Joe Henry. I believe in Joe Hendry. We like Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry answers the call, and the crowd goes crazy. Everybody starts waving their hands from side to side. Everybody knows who Joe. The fact that everybody knows who Joe Hendry is. This crowd is a WWE crowd. Now, it's WrestleMania, so this is also a wrestling crowd. This is probably the biggest wrestling crowd all year for any promotion because WrestleMania is the biggest wrestling events every year. It just is. It's WrestleMania. So you're going to get tourists. You're going to get people who like all sorts of wrestling. They're going to go to WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania. So, and say what you want about other promotions. WrestleMania, you know, the Tokyo Dome is special. Obviously, All In at Wembley, 80,000. That's special. But WrestleMania is still WrestleMania. So, at the end of the day, everybody knows Joe Henry. They're singing a song. They're doing this. And they had a fun little match where it wasn't anything crazy. It was a basic match. Nothing too crazy. And at the end, Joe Henry does his, you know, hey, and he smiles. And then the camera just catches Randy Orton with the RKO out of nowhere. Everybody starts laughing. Everybody says, this is great. And yeah, he loses. But I saw on Twitter, he put, I just wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And I hear people on Twitter and on social media talking about, oh, they jobbed him out, they bitched him out, or, oh, that sucked. Why? how they do that to the TNA World Champion. Bro, the brother was on the biggest wrestling stage for the year, and he got to wrestle in front of 60 plus thousand people, probably the biggest crowd he's ever wrestled in front of in his life, and everybody knew who he was. Everybody knew who he was. Everybody was singing the damn song, and he got to showcase his talents, and he has a WrestleMania moment that no one can ever take away from him. And you're mad that he lost? What?
You stupid.
Who cares if he lost? He was in there with Randy Orton, a legend in the game. He caught the RKO. Randy Orton gave him a little, Randy Orton did his catchphrase and hit the Randy Orton pose. He did give him an extra RKO after, showing him love. He gave him another RKO. And then, he gave him a little pat on the stomach like, bruh, if I'm Joe Henry, I took that RKO with a smile. He RKO, imagine like, I'd have been smiling from ear to ear. Like, just because he lost, it doesn't take anything away from him. Why are people so negative? I don't understand. He got to wrestle Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and everybody knew who he was. He got one of the biggest pops of anybody. Like, that was nuts. Let's not be negative, y'all. That was awesome. Good for Joe Henry, man. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Joe Henry. Next this is when it kind of started going off a cliff for me. My wife fell asleep right here. AJ Styles, Logan Paul. This was a pretty standard match. At the end, Karrion Kross said, please use the brass knucks. He didn't want to use them. So he tried to do the phenomenal forearm, but he got caught. Logan Paul used the brass knucks and hit it with the pulverizer and won. I just waited for AJ Styles to have that WrestleMania match that shuts it down, like Shinsuke Nakamura, Tokyo Dome, AJ Styles. But I don't know how many more WrestleManias AJ got left. He might have only one or two left. I know he's been talking about calling it quits on interviews, one day soon. So I just want AJ. I mean, I didn't think he would lose. I think I picked AJ to win. Did I pick AJ? No, my wife picked AJ. Yeah, my wife picked AJ because she doesn't like Logan Paul. I think I picked AJ too. Yeah.
You stupid. Nope.
Yeah, we both were wrong here. We both were wrong here. We both picked Randy Orton to be whoever the surprise entry was, so we were both doing well. And then we had Becky Lynch, the surprise for Lyra Valkyria, the surprise tag team partner. Becky Lynch came out. Everybody went crazy. Good to see Becky Lynch back. Good to see the man is back. Good to see her. And she fought Liv and Raquel, and they won. They had a pretty basic match. A manhandle slam to, I believe, manhandle slam to Liv, and they won. So it's going to be some stuff to talk about in the Judgment Day coming up soon. And my whole thing was sucks for Bayley. Sucks for Bayley, man. It sucks because Bayley is not hurt, not injured, nothing wrong with her. Reported, allegedly. They just changed plans. And it sucks. And I hope we get a heel turn out of it. I hope Bayley goes heel and she blames Becky Lynch for taking her spot. Or, I don't know. I hope they write something into it. I think Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, coming back, they win the tag titles. Maybe they lose the tag titles. And then Becky Lynch goes heel on Lyra. She takes the IC title. And then Lyra has to fight her way back to get the IC title. I think there's a story there. They're both from Ireland. They're both hard hitters. They're both very good at what they do. And I think that's a thing. I think they could work that story. Depends on what they want to do with it. I think it was awesome. Awesome to see Becky back. So we'll see what they do. And it just sucks for Bayley. And I hope Bayley gets a little better than what she's gotten, because it sucks. And then we got the main event. Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. This was a pretty basic match. No Rock, no final boss, but the crowd was hot white hot for this. The crowd reacted to everything they did, and that's why this match was okay, because the crowd was hot either way. Now, the crowd were booing Cody. The crowd, they were split. They were more cheers for Cena, especially as the match went on, than Cody. Cody was getting noticeable boos at the end of the match. And there was a lot of AAs. There was like 4 AAs. So John Cena went to the well a lot. And after the ref bump, we had Travis Scott comes out and he gets a crossroads, but nothing really happened there. They fight over the belt. And after that, Cody's like, I don't want to hit him with it. He gets hit in the nuts and then he loses. And John Cena wins. Everybody goes crazy. And everybody was like, oh, wow. But the crowd did react. The crowd went crazy. But I don't know. And I thought he would lose. But I thought if we were going to do surprises, you should have had The Rock out there. Or something better than this. Because I know Triple H wants everybody to shut up and not critique the match and just let it play out and watch with the fan's eye. I understand, Triple H. I get it. Believe me, I get it. But I watched this as a fan, and I wasn't feeling this. Like, I wasn't feeling this, man. I wasn't feeling this. This was not good. To me, this was not good. Not at all. This felt flat. It fell on its face. And I hope that he understands this. And I hope that they do something better tonight on Monday Night Raw. I hope that they do something better Friday for SmackDown, because we need something good coming out of this. We just do. But that's all I got for y'all. That was it. WrestleMania in the books. All in all, WrestleMania, and I'll put it to you like this. If it wasn't for the main event, night 1 would have been mid. If it wasn't for the first 4 matches on this show, because of the ending we got, night 2 would have been mid. So, all in all, WrestleMania, a solid 75% this year. I'm not going to go a B or B+. I'm going to go a solid C, C+. It was good. It was solid. It was solid. That's all I got for you guys today. Catch me tonight for Monday Night Raw review. I will have some shorts going up, and I will have some more videos going up with my wife talking about WrestleMania, getting her thoughts. As for me, I'm out of here. Everybody be safe. Mania's in the books, y'all. Let's keep it going. I'm out. Peace.